Okay, beautiful people, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you are already here, kindly hit the like button for us. If you are not a subscriber, at the end of the day, maybe you are a new person here, you are going to love us. Hit the subscribe button and put us on notification. So when we drop it, you have access to it. The United States and Burkina Faso signed a health deal. Yes. This is a health deal that Zambia rejected, Zimbabwe rejected. Now, Zambia and Zimbabwe did not reject the deal because the deal is coming from the United States. They rejected it on issues based on draft term. Okay? We are going to get down into it. Let's find out what this deal is about and why did these countries and other countries rejected the deal, but Burkina Faso took the deal because it is kind of a similar deal. But the difference in the deal is the draft term. Burkina Faso has proven what we have been saying, that, you see, our stand here is not anti-West stand. It is anti-imperialism. That is our stand. We are not against the West. We are against imperialism. And before we get down into the detail, how many of you remember this video? Many of you who follow me from last year, you can notice that from January last year, 2025, I've been updating you on the activity of the US and EU in Burkina Faso, how they have been going and coming and going and coming with their policies. And then, things are not working. They are trying everything possible to get involved. The United States is now trying everything possible to re-engage our brothers in the Sahel. Their new approach is going to blow your mind. They are changing their message and their approach. Their message right now is very different. The United States is surprisingly saying to Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger that, hey, brothers, we respect your sovereignty. I know many of you remember this video, right? When I told you that something is happening and people are not paying attention to it, that the United States went to Mali, and from Mali they will go to Burkina Faso and Niger. The goal is to re-engage the Sahel with a new approach, because the former approach violates the sovereignty of the Sahel. There is a new chat that if you want to deal with us, we are open. You are Russia, China, US, no problem. Whatever deal it is, it must be of mutual benefit and must not violate our boundary of sovereignty, which is the reason why the United States have been going to Burkina Faso and coming. Bring respect on the table, and then we add respect to it and matter that. Let's talk about this deal right away. The United States and Burkina Faso, they have signed a 5-year, 147 million US dollars health cooperation deal. The aim of the deal is to strengthen Burkina Faso's healthcare system. The US Department of State will provide the funding, and the funding, which is 147 million US dollars, will focus on primary healthcare improvement, disease surveillance and outbreak response, community level medical access, fighting diseases such as HIV, AIDS, and co. Now, Burkina Faso itself will contribute approximately 107 million US dollars to the program, plus another 12 million US dollars for lab capacity, digital reporting, and community health strengthening. So when you look at the contribution from both sides, the United States contributing 147 million US dollars, while Burkina Faso is contributing 107 million US dollars, plus additional 12 million US dollars for lab capacity. So when you look at the figure, let's say 28 million US dollars is what the United States used to overtake Burkina Faso in this. Now, this deal, let's make it clear, it is not just a health program. It is a strategic way of the United States to maintain its presence in the Sahel region in the midst of the growing competition from Russia, China, and other partners who are there to explore opportunity in Burkina Faso, because Burkina Faso is open to business. Now, Zambia rejected a similar deal. This is the difference here. Zambia rejected US 1 billion health funding deal. Now, Zambia, on the other hand, rejected this deal worth 1 billion US dollar deal, or 1 billion health cooperation agreement. According to Zambia, they rejected it because the draft terms did not align with the position and interests of the country, not because it is coming from the West. This deal could have been signed long ago in Burkina Faso, but whenever they go there, Burkina Faso made it clear to them that the draft term which is the reason why they have been going and coming over this, going and coming. Whenever they come, they always talk about this. There are other things even in the pipeline. The draft term is the problem. It must not violate our sovereignty. So Zambia said, no problem. Let's review this draft term and the deal, we can sign it because we are going to contribute about 340 million US dollars towards the program. The problem with it is the draft term. So it tells you that they approach Zambia with a different draft term, approach Burkina Faso with a different draft term, and approach Zimbabwe with a complete different draft term. This is the reason why we are calling the Africans, we need to speak with one voice, so that when you are coming to deal with Africans, there is one term to agree with. Because to Zambia, some part of the agreement were seen as very problematic. This led to the delay in signing the deal last year. Zambia has pulled out completely until the draft is amended, not because it is coming from the United States. Zimbabwe previously rejected a similar agreement from the United States. They raised concern about data access and national sovereignty in the draft time. And so therefore, once you review the draft term, we don't have problem with you. This is what Kwame Nkrumah stood for. We are open for business, but you must respect our sovereignty. Nobody declared the West as enemy, but how they deal with Africa is where the problem is. Now, those of you who watched that video I posted with the time that the United States started the trip from the sent delegation to Mali and then all the way to Burkina Faso, they made it clear that they are approaching the Sahel with a complete different approach, forsaking the old approach. And I was asking here that, the United States, this is not how you deal. Why are you trying to bend your rules today? That is what happened when you stand on business. So the draft term did not violate Burkina Faso's sovereignty. It benefits both countries. The people of Burkina Faso will benefit. The United States also have their interest in there. Now, there is a misconception. Some people have a problem with this, actually. They are using this to now form a narrative that Traore has become a sellout. These are people who have the wrong mindset, the anti-West mindset. The stand of Pan-Africanism is not anti-West. It's not anti-East. It's not pro-West. It's not pro-East or whatever you call it. It is anti-imperialism. Africa is open for business. Even in Burkina Faso, the terms and conditions of Russians that they are using to mine in Burkina Faso, the Russian companies, it was reviewed. A new mining code they must submit to. If you don't want to go, others are in. Because I said it in the previous video that the United States, the same United States, why are they knocking on the doors of Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso? These three countries run by military government. This is a military government they once condemned. The same leaders they once sanctioned. Now the message is different. The United States is saying that we respect your sovereignty. We don't care whether you are a coup maker or not. We prioritize your sovereignty. They criticize the same people for ending democracy, human rights, and blah, 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 blah. But today they changed the policy. Why? Because competition is on ground. The competition is tight. Chinese are there, Russians are there, others are there. If you cannot agree with terms and conditions that respect our sovereignty, go, others will come in. If you agree and then you respect our sovereignty, no problem. If you bring a deal, we read through the draft term and then it is not favoring us, it is going to violate our sovereignty, we reject it, not because the deal is coming from the East or the West, but the draft term is where the problem is. This is what we have been calling Africans to do. Stand on your ground. Let every deal you want to sign with these people respect the sovereignty of Africa. The previous deal have no respect for the sovereignty of Africa. And this is why Kwame Nkrumah said, look, this thing, we cannot rely on the West because they project themselves as the enemy of the East. And therefore we make the East our enemy. No. The global dynamic power cannot affect us. It should benefit us. If the Chinese are in, we will deal with the Chinese. If the West is in, we will deal with the East. We will benefit from all sides. We will not be enemy to anybody because you have declared them enemy. If the West sanction us, we have the East to deal with. We must divest our interest. So those of you who have the anti-West mentality, the wrong perception towards this whole Pan-African agenda, and some of them are disappointed. Why is Burkina Faso dealing with the United States again? No, the world doesn't work like that. Nobody is your friend in this world. Russia is not our friend. China is not our friend. The US is not our friend. We are talking about partnership. When China started, let me tell you this before we even close. When China started, Chinese did not cancel the United States out of their jurisdiction. No. They were still dealing with them. Although with sanctions, still they were still carrying them along. to the level where they are now strong. When the United States press their neck, they press their balls. When the pain becomes too much for the United States and then they release their neck, they also release the ball. And then straight hand and shake hand again. If they press the ball of the United States, they press their neck also. So that is how the world works. I said it in my previous video also that the United States cannot afford to leave the Sahel region because opportunity is there a lot and others are already in. So it's become a competitive ground. For you to find your way in, you must lower your bar to meet the demand of the country or to meet the demand of the region, because your competitors are already benefiting from the ground. So in future, if the draft term is reviewed for Zambia, Zambia will accept. If it is not reviewed, they will reject. Zimbabwe, if the draft term is reviewed and it meets their demand and then did not violate their sovereignty, no problem, they will accept it. It is not because it is coming from the west. So long as any deal coming from east or west does not affect the sovereignty of the nation, it is welcome. Anyway, I'll see you in the next episode, but I'm going to come live for this particular topic also so that we have discussion about it, all right? So that we explain things deeper. See you in the next episode.